We've long been sold on him as a player with the potential to be a #1 draft pick, but after watching him dominate in the Team USA scrimmages, it looks like he's going to be much more than that. What am I talking about? Let me explain. 6 months ago, we made a video about Cooper Flagg. In it, we wondered if Cooper was a prospect worth tanking for, or what's the same, a prospect worth investing a season of a professional team for. But in this period, with still more than a year to go before his NBA debut, time's already answered this question. Because Flagg is not just one of the best defensive prospects in history, nor is he just one of the most complete kids we've ever seen. Like I said, it looks like he's going to be much more than that. Not just because of his skills, which he's shown in one of the best programs in all of the United States, but also for his attitude. Last July, he was a boy amongst men, competing with the best team ever assembled and going bucket for bucket with them at just 17 years of age. But what is his real potential? Why is Flagg destined to be one of the best prospects of the decade? Let's talk about it. It's a common thing with elite prospects, right? Basketball runs through veins of the entire family. Both Cooper's mother and father have been basketball players, he in the NJCAA, and she in college. So they know exactly what their son's going to face during the upcoming season. Well, I should say sons, because Ace, Cooper's twin brother, also plays basketball and will face this challenge in 2025. In fact, both twins have been teammates at Montverde Academy, a program that's developed a huge number of prospects who have ended up in the NBA. In fact, former #1 draft picks such as Ben Simmons or Cade Cunningham, as well as other elite talents such as D'Angelo Russell, Andrew Nembhard, RJ Barrett, or Anthony Simons, have played during their high school years at Montverde. Representing the Academy's colors not only means having some of the best coaches in the country, it also comes with tremendous competition. So after having a historic season with his brother Ace at Nokomis, where he averaged 20.5 points, 10 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 3.7 steals, and 3.7 blocks per game, Cooper suffered a very noticeable role reduction when he went to Montverde. There, he averaged 9.8 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 3 assists per game during his freshman year, but in a short time, he'd become one of the team's leaders. Part of this confidence came from his first tournament with Team USA. In 2022, Cooper was selected to make the team for the 2022 FIBA Under-17 Basketball World Cup, and his role was pivotal. Flagg was selected to the All-Tournament team after averaging 9.3 points, 10 rebounds, 2.9 blocks, and 2.4 steals per game, including a game of 10 points, 17 rebounds, 8 steals, and 4 blocks in the win over Spain in the final. And not only that, in addition to having incredible tournaments like that World Championship or the Nike EYBL, in which he averaged 25.4 points, 13 rebounds, 5.7 assists, and 6.9 blocks in 7 games. Yeah, I didn't make a mistake when I said the blocks. Flagg has achieved the consistency he was looking for in the prestigious academy. In his senior year at Montverde, he averaged 16.4 points, 7.5 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and 2.7 blocks per game. He was a 2024 McDonald's All-American and was additionally named Gatorade Player of the Year. And these have been the reasons why Cooper's been considered a truly special prospect. During his recruitment, Flagg was ranked as the best prospect in the entire class, both by rivals 24/7 Sports and ESPN, which also gave him a 97 grade. That's incredible considering he reclassified to graduate a year early, so the other players in his class, in many cases, are a year older. In fact, if Flagg enters the draft next year, he'd be making his NBA debut at 18 years old, something that's not very common since the one-and-done rule was imposed almost 2 decades ago. The truth is that after this last draft, in which the Atlanta Hawks took the first position after the lottery, the franchises are eager to find a generational prospect. Something we saw in the 2023 draft with Victor Wembanyama, didn't see in 2024, and we may see again in 2025 with Flagg. He's become the next hyped player on a list that every few years makes us dream of a perennial superstar. Some turn out well, some don't turn out as well, but to reach those expectations, you have to have proven yourself. Cooper not only did that in high school, but before starting most likely his only year in Division I after accepting Duke's offer, he also did it in an extremely rare scenario. In July, as Steve Kerr's Olympic roster prepared to face Team USA's most important games in recent years, the team needed to prepare. And for that, USA Basketball called several players to scrimmage with. One of them was Cooper Flagg. Not only did the kid play against some of the most talented players in history, but at 17 years of age, he showed a maturity and talent that was unheard of. Everyone who got to see him talked about how dominant this kid was, who had never played a minute of college basketball in his career. In front of LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, he looked possessed. He looked like he had a knack for performing in moments like that. And with that unique opportunity, Cooper further boosted his stock heading into next year's draft. We're probably talking about one of the best defensive prospects in recent memory. And I don't say the best because 2 years ago, Victor Wembanyama was drafted, who after 1 year in the NBA has already shown an incredible defensive potential. But Cooper, without an alien frame, is able to dominate on this side of the court too. Whether as a rim protector, as a point of attack defender, as a threat in the passing lanes, Flagg has a multitude of resources to disrupt the offense on every possession. In some ways, his versatility on defense is reminiscent of an extinct player. Some fans of the channel may remember Andrei Kirilenko. The man they called AK-47 was a real menace in every aspect, and he's a defender that's become extinct in the modern NBA. But certainly the vibes Cooper gives off are similar to the Russian. In defense, he's simply unmatched. At 6'9" and 205 pounds, his ability to switch defenders is maybe even superior to Wemby's. On the other hand, offensively, Cooper's proven to be a player more than ready to contribute. No one expects him to be a player with the potential to lead the league in scoring, at least not for now, for the simple reason that's not his style. But his offensive progress over the last few months doesn't rule out at all that he could become a first offensive option at the next level, even if he can't prove it in college. He has very good footwork and ball handling, which, coupled with his exceptional athleticism, allows him to beat his opponents off the dribble. And although he's not a natural shooter, he has demonstrated his ability to score from all three levels. Most importantly, his offensive instincts seem very encouraging. The hype for his unique and unmatched style of play has made him a star before he's even had a chance to prove it. And there are a few better examples of this than the contract he signed with New Balance before he even debuted at Duke, a partial sponsorship with a company that has its manufacturing plant just a few miles from his hometown. Brands are betting more and more on young players with the potential to make a difference. And with Cooper, this wasn't going to be an exception. However, as Kobe said in his iconic press conference,
"Job's not finished."
Flagg's going to have to prove his maturity in college, where he'll have to prove that he's the best option to be drafted in the first position in just 10 months. Because his competition is not going to be small. Nolan Traore, the French point guard, seems a perfect prototype of a guard for the modern NBA, as does Bahamian VG Edgecombe and Rutgers' fearsome duo of Dylan Harper and Dace Bailey, who are other contenders for the top spots in the 2025 draft. But certainly Cooper has a significant edge on all these prospects, at least for the time being. Flagg may never become a full-fledged NBA superstar. He may not become that prospect who's destined to carry an entire offense with his play. After all, his offensive potential's really still unknown. But if one thing's clear to us, it's that once he enters the NBA, he's going to be a truly impactful player. It's just that the way it impacts the game may be something we've never seen before. But I know that there are certain NBA GMs who are waiting to figure it out for themselves.